Hi, this is Em here with my 3-year lock update. And I cannot believe it, but yes, I started my locks on April 9th of 2016. So this is indeed my 3-year lock update. And I'm super excited to give you guys this update. I have a lot that I want to share with you guys, a lot that I wanted to go over. So it's probably gonna be a long video, but I hope that you will enjoy. Wow, yes. So I do want to get started by showing you guys my locks, of course. And in case you're wondering why I look different, I usually wear my glasses during the videos, but I chose not to wear them for this particular update. So in case you're wondering why I look different, that might be why, but who knows why else. So here's side view. Also, if you see some white specks towards the bottom of my hair, I did get paint in my hair while making some changes around the house. But yes, I'm hoping that it'll come on over time, but if not, it's just me. It's very me that I would get paint in my hair, so it's classic. But anyway, I have notes here to keep me on track for this because I do have some questions that I wanted to answer that some people have been asking me. But I did want to make sure to start off just by showing you guys the locks, talking a little bit more about some of the locks in detail. I just wanted to show you guys some of the locks in case some people have asked me, how often do you retwist and things like that. I typically will retwist for special occasions mostly. That's really usually why. But I try not to go more than 3 or 4 months without retwisting. That hasn't happened where I've had to do that because usually there's some kind of occasion that has come up where I wanted to have a different look or I wanted to retwist. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys this just so you could get a picture of what my hair looks like more in detail. So you'll see sometimes like I'll have like loose straggly hairs like this around my hair. Around the roots. Usually retwisting, of course, will clean that up. Also, in between retwists, when I wash my hair, I'll always make sure to separate it once my hair has gotten dry again, and then I'll separate. So sometimes like if I pull them up, you'll see like some loose hairs in there. I don't worry about that anymore. I usually don't have an issue, separating them and things like that as I need to. But I also wanted to show you guys, just so you guys can get an idea of what my scalp looks like a little bit as far as where the roots are concerned. My parts actually are very similar to what they were when I first started the lock journey. Because I separate them, the parts have been pretty much maintained. So when I retwist, you can actually see the parting much more clearly. Someone had asked me recently actually what kind of parting I had to start my locks, and it was I think it's called a C parting, and so that they've actually been fairly maintained. I did want to show you guys that there are a few locks that are oddly very thin. This is one of my thin locks. I have 3 super thin locks. This is one of them. It's crazy thin, and I will not retwist that lock. And the parting at the root is very small. So that was bound to be a thin lock anyway, but it's crazy thin as compared to the rest of my locks, which have a thicker look to them. And it's interesting because I feel like some of my locks tell the story about about the times when I went without retwisting at all for a long period of time, just separating my locks in between washing, and then where I started to retwist a little bit more. You see I find that, at least for me, I think that's why it's like that. I have another thin lock somewhere in the front. I think it's this one actually. And then another really thin one in the back. And those are the only ones that where I've seen like some crazy thin locks. But again, because of the way the parting is, it's not surprising. I haven't noticed any type of lock thinning because I really do try and take it very easy and keep things very simple and low maintenance with my locks. I feel like I've kept it super, super low maintenance, and I'm going to show you an example of how simple I've kept it. So I'm going to show you some of the products that I use for my locks. This is one of the products. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is the Dr. Bronner's Lavender Castile soap. Actually haven't been using Dr. Bronner's in quite some time. It's probably been maybe around a year since I've consistently used it. But I was in Walmart and I found this and I was like, yes. I was desperate for some shampoo. I ran out of my Trader Joe's Tea Tree Tingle shampoo and I needed something for that day, and Walmart was closer, so I went and got that there. But I do like the Trader Joe's Tea Tree Tingle as well. I find that sometimes if I use the Dr. Bronner's too frequently, too much, then my locks eventually would just start to get some buildup, even if I diluted it significantly or what I felt was significant. So I just was like, I'll just use other shampoo. I don't worry too much about what kind of shampoo I use. That doesn't really worry me like it did when I first started my lock journey. It's fine. I'm not like too worried about buildup and things like that. I feel like there's going to be some buildup, but I'm washing my hair, when I can, and keeping my hair moisturized. And I feel like as long as I'm keeping the hair healthy, for me, that's really the big thing. So just speaking of keeping it moisturized, I did want to show you, I actually use this. This is 100% pure castor oil, and I use that on the body of the lock. I will use this on wash days. I'll use it on non-wash days when I just want to add some moisture to my hair. I aim for moisturizing my locks every 3 days. That's the goal. So on a non-wash day, when I want to moisturize my hair, I'll wet my hair and then I will coat it in this oil, and I'll really massage it in. Someone have requested for me to do a video on that, so I will do a video showing how I do it. But it's a very simple process. Again, one of the beautiful things I love about locks is how completely simple it has been. And I'll show you the last thing that I use in my hair, which is this. This is coconut oil, and that's it. It's just regular coconut oil that I will use only in my scalp. And I leave it at that, and it's working just fine. There's just, between those three things, that is all I need for my locks. It works. It's a system that works. As long as I'm consistently moisturizing my hair with the castor oil, that's really all that's needed. And I see no need to add anything further because it's been working for me. And my hair is 4C hair and very prone to dryness. That has always been one of my big struggles with my hair in general. Even when it was relaxed, it would always be just breaking off at the ends. Even when I tried to, be much more diligent and moisturizing, that had been an issue for a long time. But with locks, it makes it super easy for me to stay on top of moisturizing. It makes it's super easy to maintain, and it's just been actually a lot of freedom. Now, I did want to mention, as far as anything else that I do with my hair, I do not sleep with a silk scarf on. I do not wear a scarf around my head if I'm around the house. I let my hair just breathe. What you will find is that I do like to wear my hair back, usually half up, half down, like so. And as you can see, that took moments. And even when I'm working out, actually, I actually tend to have it half up, half down. Sometimes I'll pull it all back into a ponytail. But yeah, I usually have my hair out and about. I love for my scalp to be able to breathe. When my hair is relaxed, I had tons of time where my hair had to be wrapped and put under a cap with proper moisturizer in it and all this stuff. I'm enjoying the freedom every time I can. However, I did want to mention, I do sleep on a satin pillowcase. And for me, I feel like that's good enough just to make sure that, first of all, I'm not getting anything extra in my hair. And I just feel like it will reduce breakage and reduce dryness because, I don't know, I seem to get better results. When I wasn't sleeping on that, I was getting things in my hair from the pillowcase, like cotton and little cotton balls or something like that in my hair. So this made it a lot better. And I love it. So those are the big updates as far as like right now, what's going on right now. What do I do with my hair at this point in time? If there's anything I've missed, please feel free to ask that below. But I did want to go back a little bit, just to, first of all, I wanted to make sure to break down, starting my locks, and the things that I noted along the way. So I started my locks with comb coils. I went to the loctician and she started my locks. And when in that process, in the early stages of the lock journey, I had many moments where I panicked, like really crazy panicked, and didn't fully understand what was going on. I knew to expect budding. I knew that there was going to be shrinkage. I knew that, but those things still they still caused me to panic. They still made me freak out a lot. And I remember there was a point where I started to notice, like, I had the comb coils, then this big puff ball, and then a thinner part. And I remember I called the loctician. I called the loctician. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why is my hair, why is it this puffy? She's like, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. That's part of the process. I was like, but it was not supposed to bud this much or be that puffy. And she said it will be fine. As long as I don't do anything to it, it'll be fine. Well, I didn't believe her. And I didn't believe a lot of the things I saw, having watched so many videos before even starting my journey. I still didn't believe it until I went through it myself. So I feel like, to those of you who are panicking and everything like that, I understand panicking. Panicking about like anything, like the lock shrinking, panicking about like the budding and how it's budding and things like that. I understand. For me, I felt like, no matter what though, about the many different things that I panicked about, I felt like everything worked out. My locks are where I want them to be. They look the way I want them to look. I didn't have a specific like vision in mind as to what my hair would look like, but I love my locks, and it all worked out. So the things I freaked out about, even the shrinkage, again, my hair always wants to shrink up. It's always been the way. It's always just wanted to go shrink. And that's always been a part of the way my hair is. And I just accepted that because I was committed to the process. Nothing else really mattered. So I was going to stick it out no matter what, but it didn't mean I wasn't going to panic along the way. But I feel like it's natural. And I feel like this process is not easy, particularly in the first, I don't know how many months. The first 4 months, I felt like were the toughest. And being impatient and being freaked out sometimes about what it's looking like and things like that, I felt like that was very normal. I feel like it's fine even looking back on it, because it's new and it's not easy. So so I don't know. I feel like as long as, for me, I was committed to the process, that's all I needed. Patience happens over time. I feel like it's not something that for me, I didn't feel like it was something I could force on myself. I feel like it just happens. It just happened one day, or I just dealt with it, or I distracted myself. I don't know, but it all worked. And I did want to say, like, yeah, for the first several months, in fact, if you watch my 4-month lock update, you'll see how crazy my lock shrinks. So even if you look at it compared to my first video I did, which was at 1 month, and then compare it to the 4-month one, my locks just shrunk so much. And but again, like with 4C hair, I just feel like that's what it always wants to do. Like, I remember when I'd comb out my hair after taking out like micros or whatever, and it would be this huge, gorgeous afro. I'd be like, yes. And then it would, after I washed it, it would look like it's like a half an inch long or maybe an inch or whatever. But it's just how it is. It's just how my hair is. And over time, I don't know, I learned to embrace it. And the journey really helped me embrace my hair. Someone had asked me what was my hair perspective, particularly in childhood, and like what, kind of what led up to me deciding to have locks. So I wanted to be sure to answer that question. Well, the thing is, growing up, for anyone who had hair like mine, you permed your hair or relaxed your hair. I'm going to call it relaxing, perming, whatever. I'm going to go back and forth. But anyway, this is what you did. You always would get a perm. And it didn't even cross my mind that there was another way. It literally never crossed my mind, because other Black women around me, they all perm their hair too, and that's all we knew. My mom was taught that. Her mom taught her that. Or her mom's mom taught her that. Like, it's just down the line. This is just what you do. And so throughout school, starting elementary school, my hair was always relaxed, always. And seeing things like this, like where you're seeing the roots and stuff, when I was like that, oh nope, it's time to get a perm. And so then I'd go getting my scalp burned off again. And for me especially, it was even harder because my hair doesn't like being straight. It hates being straight. So they'd have to get a super perm sometimes for my hair, or leave it in a little extra long to get it just to like maintain this look, this straightened look. And but over time, like my hair just constantly was breaking off. Because even when it was relaxed, it would break off. The ends would just break more. And it was just crazy because, like, I don't know, that's just all you knew. So eventually, my mom had decided, what we need to do is give your hair a break and give it some time to grow a little bit more, and then we can perm it again. So that was the purpose. So when my hair was in micros, when my hair was in box braids, it was just in order to let it grow so it'll be longer when it's permed the next time. That was really it. And it's just interesting to think about looking back on. But eventually, I remember I was walking somewhere and I saw this woman, and she just glowed. Her hair was everything. Her hair was so big and just like thick and curly, and she just wore it so big, and just the strength that just like, she just exuded strength, and I loved it. I had to talk to her. So I went up to her and I was just like, oh my gosh, your hair is so cool. And again, I wasn't used to seeing women with hair like mine, like rocking a big loose look. That didn't even occur to me. And so when I saw her, I just had to ask her about it. And she was talking to me about how much she's loved it and how free she feels, and how, like, she said she felt like very true to herself. And she recommended, based on the questions I was asking, she's like, actually, I recommend that you look up this convention. It was something about the pride, like about the pride of like of your hair, of your natural hair, like something about natural hair. And it's really just to empower women to at least see that there are options. So, if someone chooses to have permed hair or whatever, at least there's a choice, versus like not knowing that it's possible to maintain your hair if that's what you really want to do. And so I looked more into natural hair, and I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. And so then I decided at that point, I'm going to grow out my hair natural. I'm not going to perm my hair ever again. And I'm just going to grow it out. And so what I would do is have what people now call protective styles. So I'd have like Marley twists and micros and things like that, just to grow out my hair completely natural. And I remember I was sitting at a desk, and I remember I was just like, had my hands in my hair at the time, while I was still growing out and stuff. And I remember running my hands through my hair, and my hair, like little parts of my coils just fell onto the desk. And I remember looking at it, and I'm just like, I'm doing all of this. I'm going through these years of just having my hair in these Marley twists or micros to grow it out, and my hair is still breaking off. Now again, regardless of whether that was the reason why my hair is breaking off, or just the fact that my hair is prone to dryness, and having those styles did not help me moisturize my hair better, regardless of whatever the reason was, I had decided enough was enough. I'm done trying what I've been doing. And then I had decided to talk to my brother, who had happened to have had locks for maybe like 3 years, possibly. And I remember, locks were not something I had ever thought about before. That was not something that I had seriously considered. I never crossed my mind, like, that's something for other people to have. That's not for me. Like, I didn't even cross my mind. It didn't matter. And, but when I just started to think about it, I'm like, man, like I'm wearing my hair in these single things anyway, in these groups, you know, like in box braids or micros or whatever. So like locks aren't gonna really hurt me at that point. And I saw my brother's hair was growing. And when I thought about my hair goals, which is a strange term to use, but that's what I called it. Like what do I want my hair to be like in a few years? I knew I wanted it to be long. I wanted it to be healthy, and I wanted it to be easy to maintain. And so it looked like with him, that's what he was getting. So he's like, well, if you're serious, I'm going to show you this video. So then he shows me this video of this woman with this gorgeous locks. Like her hair was so thick and healthy and it was very long. And I watched the video, and she was just talking about it and like all the things she does. She was just answering questions, and it just seemed like, oh, this actually seems like really doable, and it seems really ideal for what I want from my hair. And so I decided to do more research. So I researched locks more for about a month, like here and there whenever I had a chance. And at that point, after that month, I decided I'm getting them. So I made a consultation appointment with a loctician, a local loctician, and went for it. And so I made the appointment, we met, and then I gave it 2 months because I had a vacation coming up and I was going to be swimming and things like that. So I decided I wasn't gonna do anything too crazy until after the vacation. But I had committed to it. I made my appointment, and then I got my locks on April 9th, 2016. And I have never had a moment of regret. I feel nothing but relieved and happy and thankful for locks and the freedom that having them has given me. It's just, I don't have to calculate what I'm doing. I don't have to like worry about what the weather is like when I go outside. I can work out freely without factoring in my hair. I love to swim. I really feel like a mermaid, and I can just swim all I want to. I can just do so many different things, and I don't have to spend forever worrying about my appearance or spending so much time getting it together, even if I'm not worrying about it. When my hair was relaxed, when it was, even when I had to do the micros or Marley twists, it still was its own thing. And for me, I don't like to spend that much time on my appearance. I really don't. I like to keep it super, super simple. Like, I wear simple clothes. I don't care. I don't need no name brand stuff. I don't need anything like that. I don't care. I just want to just be able to get dressed and go do what I want to do. That's the way my brain works. And I don't like wearing makeup for the same reason. Like, just the way I am. I like to be able to be very spontaneous with my life. And so that locks really have allowed for that. And as a traveler, I love to travel, and dealing with hair is not very convenient if I'm trying to stay in a hostel in Barcelona or something like that. Like, I just find it so much easier to be able to just be free, and I can just go to sleep at night. And I'm not worried about like, oh, I gotta do all this extra stuff. It just doesn't work for my personality. It doesn't work for me or my lifestyle or my general life goals for myself. And but locks have given me so much freedom, and I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful for them. And even just finding a better way to be able to moisturize my hair. Yes, I've screwed up. Yes, I forget to moisturize my hair sometimes. And I will get breakage if I forget across a long period of time. Like, I'll see like some of the ends like get a little scraggly, I guess I'd say. But then I just pick it up and get back on it. And my hair has still been able to thrive. My hair has never shown this much length in my entire life because of the constant breakage that I had. And now I can just live, and I can just be who I am and not have to think about it. And I'm just so thankful. And along those lines, I did want to just say I'm so thankful to you guys too. And first of all, for those of you who stuck around this long for the video, first of all, you guys are amazing. But there are some of you who have been, ever since you discovered my channel, you guys have been so encouraging and so interactive. And I really have enjoyed interacting with you guys. I was very worried about putting out my updates on YouTube. I was going to document my locks no matter what, but doing updates for YouTube was a whole nother thing, because I know how much, like, you know, some things can, like, people can make things so negative and things like that and controversial. I just am trying to live. I'm just trying to be positive and share my journey and hope to encourage other people. And that's really all I wanted. And you guys have been amazing at helping me create this this positive community. You guys are the community, and I thank you guys for making this channel what it is. And your questions have been so interesting, and sometimes you guys ask questions that I hadn't thought about before, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about that with my own locks. And I was like, what do I do about that? And I like it. Or just sharing some of your journeys and hearing about, you know, some of you have had interesting stories about how you got to this point, for those of you who have been telling me about your journeys. And I just think it's just so amazing to hear and or see, and who knows how many other people are looking at your comments and find that also inspiring too. So I thank you guys so much. And please, for those of you, you guys know who you are, like, please feel free to please comment below. I ask that you comment below, especially if you made it this far in the video. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear comments. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to throw them at me. But again, I'm very thankful for you guys. And I had told myself, I had promised myself that I was going to do a lock update for my first 3 years every single month. 2 of the lock updates I did accidentally delete from YouTube, but I did do them. And I fulfilled my part of the promise to myself. And of course, I was happy to share that here on YouTube. With that being said, I'm not going away. I'll still be around. I'll still have updates and everything. But as far as the part that I committed myself to, I did it. It's crazy to, like, think about that. Wow, like I'm here. And but you guys can always feel free to ask questions, reach out. If you have any video requests, I definitely take video requests. I'll be doing a video soon, just based on a request that I got. I'm happy to be encouraging in any way that I can. And again, I thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll talk with you guys very soon. Bye for now.